When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King Amin of Essex. Let's get right to it. I hear that Boxer, which is the outfit ran by Ben Shalom and some other cats over in the UK, they just signed a deal, television deal with NBC, or are they reviving NBC Sports? I don't know all those particular details, but um, yeah, I'm curious. NBC Sports, I know they had a couple attempts to carry boxing. I tuned into it. I think what the issue was and is um cable. A lot of people don't have cable like they used to. And streaming platforms are the wave. Fire sticks are the wave. So if it's going to be on the Peacock network, they're going to finagle it. I mean, more power to them. My whole thing is exposure, exposure, exposure. So if they find a way to put, some big fights on, the main channel, NBC, because that seems to make the most sense. But let's get right into the other bit of news I want to talk about in this whole PBC and Al Haymon going to Amazon Prime or looking for a deal. Let's be honest. Um, Al Haymon, he got to cut the shit. PBC got to cut the shit. If they go in now, granted, there are seemingly disadvantages when it comes to money, but that's part of the problem in the first place, because most of the fighters on PBC were hanging their hat on the fact that they get paid equitable wages. I'm not knocking that at all. You got to get what you're supposed to get. But if you get that on the back of watering down the sport because you're not taking fights against some of the best fighters, I mean, to me, again, I think Bob Arum is a piece of shit. Absolutely. The snake, the cat, the rat, the dog. Like, how you gonna live when you're sleeping with the ball? He's a piece of shit. Like, if DMX ever met Bob Arum, he'd probably rob him. Rest in peace, DMX. You know what I'm saying? He's a piece of shit. But the top ranked model, because for me, it suits the needs of sports fans and the hardcores. Number one, if you turn into ESPN, right? Although they're being rivaled by Fox Sports, ESPN is still ESPN. All right. So you can turn to the main channel. You got ESPN Deportes, and of course you got the app on ESPN Plus. For me, I think PBC should try to rock the boat. The hostile takeover, right? Get down or lay down. Going on over, if there's room at Disney, if they have enough money, going on over there and rock the boat. Who gives a fuck, right? Except the fighters that don't want to fight the other fighters, their peer group. And that's where the problem is. You can't carry over individuals that they looking at not necessarily taking those good fights. I don't know what PBC is going to do. On the other hand, Amazon Prime, everybody's got a fire stick, so shouldn't be that difficult, man. I don't know. It's just so sad to see boxing just get defeated like this, A lot of jokes, HBO boxing died, USA box, but these are truths, man. And we can't go out like this, man. We can't go out like this. So um I don't know. What do you guys think? Where do you think is the best landing places for PBC and their stable of fighters, right? Their last show is what is that, in December? So whenever the Benavidez and Andrade fight, they try to put everything on the undercard of that shit. Even got Danny Garcia getting one last bag. Um, it's a shame. It's a shame. I don't know how we end up like this, but we got to carry on. This is why I'm here, right? Really, that's it as far as news. I don't really want to drag nothing else out. If you're looking for women's boxing, you got to find it on the other video. I'm keeping it strictly more general, more men's. And let's get into the fight week preview. All right. It's a little dry. Golden Boy, you kind of got to give them credit. I still call Golden Boy a fledgling promoter, even though, it's Oscar De La Hoya and, Bernard Hopkins and Eric Gomez. I still call them fledgling because they can't seem to get their fighters in position. It's not, I don't think it's the quality. It is the quality of fighters because it isn't the promotional capabilities. Yes, with Golden Boy, you're not going to get a whole lot of shine, but hell, ain't nobody over there. So really, a top tier fighter could take the shine unless you're trying to work your way to get off the motherfuckers, right? Um, and in that way too, if you don't get your heart broken or too discouraged, you can make a name at Golden Boy. Senicia Estrada did it and then went over the top rank, right? Canelo, obviously. A lot of fighters have done it. So, again, De La Hoya, what you think of him, he's like Gru, all right? And his minion is on the undercard. Jojo Diaz is in action, but the main event is Alexis Rocha, 147-pound contender. I think he's a contender. Hasn't really faced any of the top guys. But yeah, he's in there against Giovani Santillan, I believe. So that should be a pretty good bout. You also have really the UK bout is probably going to steal the card. I go into depth on IG, but you got Isaac Chamberlain versus Mikael Lawel. That is for a cruiserweight title, domestic joint. It's bad blood, like genuine bad blood between these two gentlemen. The pressers have been, kind of, tense to say the least. All right. So, and I think you got one more card this weekend. Yeah, escapes me. But don't let boxing escape from us, man. Because what are we going to be doing? Looking for this shit on YouTube? And listen, I don't want to be too dire. I don't think boxing's going to disappear, but it'll be harder to find. You don't want to be looking for boxing on YouTube, man. I mean, no shot at pro box, right? Because people watch YouTube, obviously. Where am I going to put this video on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know how people are going to feel about maybe perhaps I think the NFL has a relationship or a subscription situation with YouTube. You guys feel like YouTube is a good place for PBC? And I say that because you also have the element of Al Haymon always following music industry promotional models. YouTube is now run by one of the former executives of Def Jam. So there's a connectivity and there's I guess, a mutual understanding of the rationale, how they, operate business wise. But I don't know, man. Not really sure. Not really sure, guys. I'm just looking for this last. Oh yeah, see, because it's UK and it's Jack Catterall versus Jorge Linares. We know Jorge Linares is an adorable veteran. Jack Catterall been trying to get his get back since that was it a draw with Josh Taylor or whatever it was. We see what happened with Josh Taylor. So Jack Catterall, he's got to find another way to make his name. So yeah, maybe against a adorable, venerable veteran like Jorge Linares. We'll have to see, man. Yeah, listen, I'm watching all of this, especially the UK boxing. You guys got to pay attention. Put it to you like this. If you have the ability and the access to the UK fights, I mean, I watch college football a little bit, but UK boxing will replace that, because if you're sitting around on a Saturday and you watching boxing from maybe 1 o'clock until like 6 or 7 o'clock before any of the stateside action come on, then you'll feel like I feel. So you'll get there. Understand. You might not know these names right away. You might have heard of them kind of like, a cursory glance, but this is how you get in tune. But listen, I'm about to get up out of here. I want to thank you guys for staying in tune with me. Championship rounds, women's boxing Wednesday, and more. I got it all coming to you. All right. Stay dangerous and don't waste your hustle.